So who the heck knows what's going on anymore? Blizzard continually has messed up this patch. It's amazing how terribly and inept they are. But at the end of the day, the result, we get to watch the quote-unquote first bricked NA run. So these guys were ready to go for the screw up. Blizzard had screwed up already on this patch where other people were able to get in and clear the instance accidentally. And Blizzard was like, okay, we'll screw up again. Why not? This was not supposed to be released now, but here it is. The comp is not ideal. They were literally taking warm bodies, 39 manning right now in this raid, just so that they're able to get this going before Blizzard wakes up. And they were able to pull it off. Like I said, a little bit of a spoiler. They're just continuing going throughout this. We'll see how many people die on Skeram here. Kind of interested in that. So they blast out in the first part. It's split up. Let's see how they handle it. They do have buffs already popped. Notice how there's always a tank waiting in each spot. They're doing the mechanics correctly. They taunt the bosses. They kick correctly. And then they're in the final spot now. And that's it. Clean. So we'll move forward. They continue to run. Again, a little bit slower pace here because none of these guys have mounts. They all have to run through this entire raid, which does slow things down a bit. But they pull off the first little bit of trash. No one dies to the mind controls, and now they're set up for Bug Trio. Bug Trio looks clean. They kill... This makes no sense to me. I don't know why you wouldn't kill Kree first. I guess Yauj does the heal, right? So they make it safer in a way by killing Yauj first. But to me, Kree's the one that does all the damage. That's the one that kills people. I always recommend you kill Kree first. In a progression group, to be specific. So they move out of the poison, and it's clean. Keeping it clean so far. Next couple trash pulls are a chance for deaths. Excuse me. I'm sneezing because of Blizzard's incompetence. Allergic to incompetence, and we are watching it in real time. So they get the patrol. Patrol's clean. So the problem here is they did too much damage to the ads. If you cleave the ads too early, which they did here, Zugs being Zugs is why this pull went poorly. This is not how this pull is supposed to go. So people get knocked away. Fortunately, no one died. They pull the last pack in. They do things really safe, bringing every single pack back to there. So they blast down Sartura. They do a good job stacking all the ads together. Ads are basically all dead by the time that the boss is going to start spinning. So they killed all the ads before the boss spun. That's great. They all popped their cooldowns early so that they could cleave at the start and do more damage. Now the boss is spinning. It's enraged now, so this is definitely a chance for people to die. And it's dead. So they continue forward. Bug Trio is really boring. Looks like that Renbot might have DC'd or something. Not really sure why someone's not with him. They just move him out of one of the main groups and move on. So they drag. Notice the positioning here, how they're dragging this first boss all the way over so that they're more quickly set up for Visk. Visk is the toughest fight. Curious to see how many people had what they needed for this fight. Looks pretty good. You see the Warlock here. I'm not sure why he's not wanding. This is weird to me. We're watching individual gameplay that doesn't make sense. So you want to use sacks here and stuff, like this is strange. Why is he not wanding? Guess he doesn't have a frost wand. I would just get out of the room if you're this useless as a World of Warcraft player. Just do your curse and then run out of the room. Looks like he does have a frost one though. Oh no, he doesn't. He definitely doesn't. Useless Warlock. Yeah, just get out of the room in this situation. You are stealing resources if you're completely useless, or at least use your Hellstone. Like, mate, there it is. There's the Hellstone. Cool. So they pulled it off a little bit rough, Visk. Definitely some people that weren't prepared. It came up early, right? Kind of silly to call people out for a raid that isn't supposed to be in the game yet. Agni gets really low there. This is a common time where tanks die on trash packs. He's far in the front because he has his mount on. Other people don't have mounts. Almost dies there. Gets really low. But he lives. Dummies, that could be a good time to use a target dummy in a situation like that. If you're afraid of dying, you see a dummy go down. So they're grabbing trash one at a time here. Killing the big stingers first always, that's the priority. Now they're on to Huhu. Clean Huhu can be a tougher, scary experience with only one hunter. But again, they keep it clean. So it's been a really good run up to this point. Each of these things have abilities. Looks like the mage just wasn't fast enough to blink in here. They get hit by the volley over and over. This is weird. I think Brick players, again, we can't really hear the comms, so we don't know what the call was. But Shadowstorm, like, you run in this situation. It's funny looking at the Warlock here, turned around, and all these guys are just getting owned back there. You gotta go in quick. Don't want to just keep taking that much damage. I think these guys are seeing the mechanics for the first time in some cases. So the one single mage dies there, kind of unfortunate. But they keep it going. Other ones all go pretty good. So the Warlock is ready for the main job, which is the tanking. You're going to see a Warlock that has only the gear from before AQ40, right? There are a couple of Shadow Resist pieces available that make it stronger. I recommend having the boss targeted in advance. Just look at the other side and target the boss so that you can spam it and instantly pick it up. It was like a half second later than what it could have been there. But yeah, looks like the Resto Druid dies here. Not ideal, but the Resto Druid can't put on Fairy Fire, so not a super useful class anyways. Alright, we're at the end. Did anyone die at the end? Nope. Another interesting thing is being able to switch specs like that, so Warlocks are able to go to a spec that has more shadow resistance built in by sacrificing or Master Demonologist thing, whatever. So that allows a more optimal ability to fight the boss when you're able to have a tank spec and a DPS spec as a Warlock. So they have to do all this trash. Let's see how Vega dies here. Looks like maybe a mind control. I don't know. I'm assuming a mind control person like Verador or Kala just whacked him. Oh, he gets sat. No, he gets. Yeah. I don't really know what kills him here. Not gonna look through logs right now, just because the Warcraft logs, I don't know if they'll even count this as a valid run. Who the heck knows what's going on? I just want to talk about gameplay right now. So let's continue moving here. All this trash is going well. They're just blasting down the trash, doing the mechanics correctly. We can go over more into how these areas are supposed to be done, but feel free to go back and look at this VOD by Aaron Grimm. I'm sure other people could learn something. This is dangerous. These guys are a little bit far up here where they're fighting this pack. If I were this raid group, I would not recommend this. They get really close. Okay, they did get feared into that pack. So fortunately, that fear didn't happen earlier on, and they dummy and pull this off successfully, but that was a little bit of a scary time. I guess when it's only that pack, it's less scary, because if you see here, they pull this pack back, but if this fear had happened early and this full pack got pulled early from an early fear, it can be very, very, very scary. So Ouro, just a tank fight, really simple, easy fight. So it's just a tank at the start, and then Barrador's second threat. So then Barrador gets, oh, actually Thorgene pulls. Thorgene was second threat. So Thorgene has it, then Barrador's second threat. It's just, then Fair has it. So it's just a constant cycle of tanks making sure they have highest threat. Easy peasy. Interesting to see these guys wait and pull that pack at the end. I guess it's a little bit more optimal. I would think, well, anyways, this is just a prog run. It's not like it's a speed run. But we're seeing the end of the prog run now. About an hour into the raid. Bricked is already done. And they one phase it. No deaths on Cthulhu. Easy breezy. And that's it. Sub 50-minute raid. Saw the start of the raid. Saw the end of the raid. Under an hour, I should say. I'm going to keep it brief in terms of what we got going on here. I guess we could see, looks like 19 is streaming loot. They got the Warlock cloak, so that's great for the future. Healing power to gloves is really big to get early on like that on the first enchant. Everyone, or on the first lockout, I should say, everyone needs that enchant. So being one of the people to get the first AQ40 enchants is huge. Not I don't really know the words to use to describe Blizzard. Like, I'm not disappointed because I had zero expectations of them ever doing anything right, but it's just incredible how inept and much they fail doing the basic things that have been previously done already, right? Like, this isn't some new game mode. This isn't rocket science in my head. I don't understand how things get so messed up, but here we are. So might as well talk about it. I hope you guys have a good day. So I just got to talk briefly how silly it is that this event is open now, right? Like, people cared so much about trying to keep it closed, trying to prevent and grief the gates from opening, and it doesn't matter because Blizzard is just so incompetent, right? Just so bad, but at the same time, kind of a funny dash of coincidence where Bricked, they were frustrated that other people weren't putting in enough effort, and in the end, they ended up getting first in NA anyways, so the effort paid off that they were ready to go for AQ40. Funny how fate turns out. Just had to mention that. Peace out, guys.